Welcome, everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners. Sprint Ride Option Podcast. Hello. We are live. It is a new episode of the Sprint Ride Option Podcast on a Wednesday. It's like that SpongeBob episode where they're open 24 hours and he says, I'm taking the trash out at night, except it's on a Wednesday. I am Andrew Pasquini. Didn't think I was going to open with a SpongeBob reference. Jason Aponte to my right. Jason, how are you doing on this lovely Wednesday evening?
Amazing. Wednesday, December 22nd, day before what feels like a playoff game for the 49ers in prime time, a Thursday night football game. There's no theme song that I need to dread listening to because there is no Thursday night football theme song. But real quick, news just broke before we joined.
Yes.
Pro Bowl rosters have been announced.
Yes.
There are 5 San Francisco 49ers, 5 that have been announced to the Booker T. 5-time. Nick Bosa, Trent Williams, Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel. Shout out to you, but you won't be playing in that game. So don't really worry about it. Don't worry about that.
Do you know if the Pro Bowl is it AFC, NFC? Is it back to back? Because I know they did a couple.
It is. They had a draft. Yeah, they had a draft. I don't know if that's still in place. I love that idea. I think that's actually brilliant because you need to find a way to make the most boring football game in the world somewhat watchable. And even still, it is the most boring football game in the world, but it's still ratings wise beats like the biggest NBA game.
Wow.
Somehow in ratings. And that makes no sense.
I got 3 words for you if we stick with AFC versus NFC that'll get anybody to buy in.
What?
Pits and Kits.
Let's
the
go.
Titans for the NFC. We get to see a one game if the Niners are in it or the Falcons. I guess they can still make the playoffs. We could still see Pits and Kits on a team together. Do you know how amazing that would be? Because that's something that we've been calling for on this podcast for about 6-7 months now. So Pits and Kits on the NFC
Print the
Pro Bowl
t-shirts.
team. Print the t-shirts, NFL. You can have my idea. Idea for the NFC Pro Bowl team at least. I wanted to get that point out.
What an electric opening. Also, for anybody who's in here, if you're new, if you're not, let's talk about it. Make sure you hit that like button on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell when we go live because this week is full of content. You are getting a Sprint Ride Option podcast that is normally on a Friday to preview a Sunday game on a Wednesday for a Thursday game. Also, post game
all day for Thursday.
No. Post game normally is me just yelling like a moron by myself, but I will be yelling at Andrew.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
And
I've wanted to do that.
That will be the post game show review, and everybody else can enjoy their holiday as well too. So happy holidays to you and your family. Thank you for being here. It's a fun time to be a 49er fan at this point, and it's a fun time to be covering a team that is in a playoff position right now. Also, 8-6. Could it be me? Could it be me to be a podcaster of a team right now that is not in a playoff spot?
So I am currently looking for, because somebody said they got like 6 alternates as well. If you could tell me where the alternate list is, we'll shout out those Niners too, because that sounds cool, right?
I added Cam Pepper, Tabor Pepper's father, because I felt he was snubbed. And shout out to Cam because he's actually tuned into my shows before and he's a supporter as well. But he kind of just owned me on the timeline a little bit. Yeah. So I said this disrespect will not stand. And he said, true, but Josh Harris has 9 years in the league and 4 tackles on punts this year. I have much respect for him. Tabor will get there. He has always taken the long way. Look at his resume. And that kind of owned me like a little bit. I'm sorry, Cam Pepper, Papa Pepper. I was just trying to get more eyes on Tabor Pepper, and I felt he was snubbed.
Got called out. Didn't expect. Wow, what an unexpected. It's on a Wednesday. We're getting dunked on by the Peppers. All that fun stuff. Just a great episode. Hey, No other Niner special team has made the Pro Bowl, though, so that's EPA.
He's an alternate.
Is it? Have I seen the alternate list yet? I told you I'm looking for the alternate list.
He's an alternate.
He's an alternate. Okay, I don't know where the alternate list is. Mitch's. Okay, cool. A lot of tackles. Okay. Anyways, you want to talk about the Titans 49ers?
I'll find it. You can go ahead and start with that, but I'll find it.
Let's start with the Titans and 49ers. And I guess we're going to start a little backwards today because there was some pretty big news regarding injury reports in this game.
I got
Jason, hand up. Here we go. Let's hear the alternate list.
The Pro Bowl alternates are guard Lincoln Tomlinson.
Oh, yes.
Center Alex Mack.
Okay.
Special teamer Trenton Cannon.
Okay.
Defensive tackle Eric Armstead.
Yeah.
Linebacker Fred Warner.
Okay.
Punter Mitch Wishnowsky.
Okay.
Free safety Jimmy Ward.
Okay. There we go.
Jimmy Ward should have just been there.
I mean, Jaquaski Tart should just be there too, but hey. We're just podcasters, man.
The Cannon. I'm sorry. That's do you know that reference, Andrew?
No, I don't.
So there is a producer, Don Cannon, DJ Drama, who has made mixtapes. He's the one who is largely responsible for T.I.'s big. He was his DJ.
Okay.
He found Lil Uzi Vert. He found Jack Harlow.
Okay.
So that's the drop. The Cannon.
Yeah. Okay. Now that you put it in that context, I know what it is.
Cannon.
Now, I know the context now.
That's it. That's your Spider Niner. My punter did not make it.
Yeah, Jason's punter plays in college, San Diego State, 51 yards per punt, baby.
All right.
We ready?
Electric opening. Opening.
Just all over the place, and I love it. Hey, we're here to talk about the 8-6 San Francisco 49ers. They have a game. It's not on Sunday. It's not on Saturday. This is why we're here on a Wednesday. The Niners play the Tennessee Titans, the 9-5 Tennessee Titans, down in Nashville. I believe that's where the Titans play. I don't think they play in Memphis. I'm pretty sure they play in Nashville. In a game that, man, how do you want to cut it? Because I feel like I could tell you ways the Niners are going to win. I can tell you ways the Niners are going to lose. How do you want to cut this game, Jason?
Well, I've been living in positive world the last 2-3 weeks.
Then let's look at it positively. Nick Bosa is going to eat. Actually, before we dive into that, I guess part of the reason we're going to talk about that and where I was injury report, because that was where I wanted to start. The Titans have a pretty big name there, Taylor Lewan. He's out. He has a back injury. He's not playing. And I wrote some notes on him because the other side of the line, and this is to our point of Nick Bosa, not great. Lewan, pretty good. He's only allowed 4 sacks in 2021. He's allowed 20 pressures in 2021. He only allowed 1 pressure against the Steelers, which is very good. Mike, appreciate the donation. Bosa and Arden Key masterclass tomorrow. Book it. Part of the reason people are saying that, the right tackle, David Quessenberry, he's allowed 11 sacks in 2021. That's the most for a tackle allowed in the NFL this season. He's allowed 41 pressures, which is 54th out of 58 qualifying tackles. And he allowed 7 pressures and 2 sacks against the Steelers. And something I noticed, just watching the tape, I'm a baby watch the tape guy now. The Titans didn't throw a lot of doubles at TJ Watt. And TJ Watt, just like Nick Bosa, one of the best edge rushers in the game. And TJ Watt had a pretty good game against the Titans. Do you think that maybe Jason Aponte, especially now with Lewan out for the game, they focus a little more on that Bosa guy, or do you think this is going to be another thing where they kind of leave Quessenberry out there on an island with Bosa? Like, what do you think we're going to see from the Titans attack on the Niners pass rush, and how do you think the Niners are going to go at it?
Realistically, even when Taylor Lewan was in there, the Titans offensive line wasn't good.
No.
And you take away somebody of his stature, and now it becomes more of an issue. And when you look at Nick Bosa and how well he's played, this is laying it up on a tee for him to have a 2 to 3 sack game. Also, the way that DeMeco Ryans has been dialing up his stunts, his blitzes at certain points, the 49ers should have no problem getting to Ryan Tannehill, especially considering, no disrespect to Deontay Foreman, Dontrell Hilliard, those guys, because they are NFL players, they are not Derrick Henry.
No.
And you have no worries about who's in the backfield at this point. So that puts Ryan Tannehill in obvious passing situations, and that's not where he wants to be. A lot of what the narrative around Ryan Tannehill was built in terms of where he lands in the quarterback landscape is because of play action. His EPA was high off play action, and now that's gone. Sure, the Titans will try to run the ball, but the 49ers have shown, especially with Azeez Al-Shaair playing in this game, the 49ers have shown to be a stout run defense the last few weeks and trending in the right direction. Now, when you put Ryan Tannehill in a position where he becomes one-dimensional with a line that isn't that good, let's just call it what it is, this is going to be a problem. And this is something that the 49ers are going to exploit. And I feel really good about it.
Yeah, this is one of those games, Jason, where we talk about the pass rush, the ability of the pass rush of the 49ers to really make the secondary better, because there's a couple guys on Tennessee. AJ Brown, which I'm not sure what his status is yet. I've seen a stretch.
Yeah,
I've seen he could play.
The Titans have till 4:00 tomorrow to activate him. I would guess that he's playing. And Julio Jones got in a full practice today.
Yes. So that's kind of my point is AJ Brown, Julio Jones are probably going to play tomorrow. But is that something we're worried about because of how bad this line's going to be against the Niners? Is this something we're going to have to worry about? Julio Jones, getting Ambry Thomas multiple snaps. How much are we going to worry about that? And to me, I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about it. I think this pass rush, how well it's been playing lately, with the addition of Arden Key and Ebukam is coming around, and Armstead's been, he's been creating pressures here and there. I'm not too worried about the weapons the Titans have. And I mean, Ryan Tannehill hasn't been scary. Josh Eccles, we love you too. Appreciate you. He hasn't been great this year. I mean, if you just look at him compared to his career numbers, the interception percentage is up there. He's 3 interceptions off his career high. He just hasn't been great. I mean, he's getting the yardage, which good. That's great. But 14 touchdowns and 14 interceptions in week 15 is not where you want to be as a starting quarterback. So I really think the pass rush is going to do a great job at neutralizing Brown and Jones, even with them at their not 100% healthy state.
Yeah, and look, when I say that Julio Jones is practicing in full, AJ Brown is coming off, it's not to panic.
No.
Right? Because the 49ers have dealt with this. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, I would argue right now, is a more formidable duo.
Yeah.
And the 49ers, for a large portion of that game, thanks to DeMeco Ryans, thanks to Jimmy Ward and Jaquiski Tartt, thanks to Nick Bosa, were able to corral that for a while. So when I say that Julio Jones is playing, it's not to say, oh my God, you have to panic. Julio Jones, even in his diminished state at this point, because let's just call it what it is, he's my favorite player in the league. I'm sorry, guys, and you can kill me for this. I'm sorry. He's my favorite player in the league. I like other players that aren't 49ers players. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Jameis Winston for me, hands up.
There you go.
It is what it is.
I get it. He's diminished. But it doesn't take much for him to get going. And the other thing I will point to is this. Julio and AJ haven't really had too much time on the field together because Julio's been injured this year. AJ's been injured. So, look, when I point this out, it's not to panic. It's not to be negative or anything like that. It's something to just keep an eye on. I'm interested to see how this works right now. But again, pass rush is neutralizing all that. Andrew makes a great point. Nick Bosa is incredible. This offensive line is bad. Ryan Tannehill's not playing well this year without Derrick Henry. Imagine that.
Weird.
But in terms of straight up matchups, like the same things that I was not afraid of with the Atlanta Falcons. Like I literally was not afraid of any individual matchups or anything like that. This is what it worries me the most in this game. Is Julio Jones against Norman, Julio Jones against Ambry, Julio Jones AJ Brown against Ambry or Josh Norman, because we know that they don't float. Those are things that kind of I just want to keep an eye on. That's it. I'm not overly concerned. I'm not trying to be negative, none of that. But it's football, right? And it's all matchups. That's it. More than anything, this is the only point of concern that I have. That's it. Everything else points in the 49ers direction. This is it. This is the one matchup that if the Titans are able to exploit and able to get things out of, then the game becomes hairy. Otherwise, every other way, it doesn't really feel like anything is in the Titans' favor. So I just want to point this out, being objective and down the middle.
Yeah, and I don't know what this necessarily means, Jason. I was curious in terms of how important A.J. Brown is to the Titans. I looked up the 4 games that A.J. Brown has missed this year, because he's missed 4 games. He missed week 4, and then he's missed the last 3 games due to a chest injury. Week 4, when he didn't play, they had 253 passing yards against the Jets, which they're the Jets, whatever. Week 12, A.J. Brown didn't play, 85 passing yards against the Patriots, 161 passing yards against the Jaguars, and 117 against the Steelers. They need A.J. Brown, and I mean, what you're saying about Julio Jones, you look at his numbers, he's only played 8 games, so about half the year. 38 targets, 25 receptions, 369 yards. He hasn't even scored his first touchdown as a Titan yet, man.
Well, Julio never scores touchdowns. That's always been
he's used to that. Yeah, that's
always been the knock. And one thing I want to say real quick to the 49ers fans, and I'm trying to be better about not talking down to fans, because we've gotten a ton of comments about that, and it's true. I should stop that. Please stop using that W word. The W word about Julio.
I know.
Can you please stop using that? Diminished is the word, not that W word. That W word is not what Julio Jones is. Diminished is where he's at.
I mean, he's definitely getting up there in age. He plays Jason. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah, Jason. Unfortunately, he practiced in full today.
I don't know about this. Football is a very physically demanding sport, and once you play it for Julio Jones is in year 10 now, year 11 now, like it gets tough. So he's definitely a threat, but he's definitely not what he used to be. Definitely not what he used to be.
And I want to take this from Darius, and I'm not trying to single you out or anything like that. We have the most physical secondary in the NFC. If Norman hasn't earned your trust by now, you have standards too high, especially versus Julio Jones. It's not about my standards being too high. It's about just matchups. That's it. Yeah. It's not again, look, Josh Norman has been great because of what D'Amico has been doing the last few weeks. And do not discount the fact that, okay, if I'm a quarterback, okay, I see diminished Josh Norman on one side, and I see a rookie who right now isn't playing with confidence. Who do you feel like testing? Right? It's not that people aren't going at him. It's that if I'm looking at matchups, I'm going to go at that rookie. So it's not – he hasn't earned my trust because he's still sometimes out of position on certain things, and it just hasn't shown up yet. So it's not necessarily that. And again, I'm not trying to single you out, anything like that. I'm just answering the question that's right here. That's it. And Vish, love your show, guys. Thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate you. What about the Titans D-line? I've heard they're good. I think we'll get to that. And that's another point. That's a little bit of a concern as well, too. But Tom Compton was the highest graded player on the offensive side of the ball by PFF this past week.
Yep.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Jason.
Where did they have Jaquaski Tart?
Oh, he was at the bottom.
Oh yeah, that's weird. Where were we? Yeah, man. Obviously everything about Julio. He's fantastic. Is he a player that's gonna scare me as much as he used to? No, but there's always gonna be that thing in the back of your head of, well, if he goes back to what he was for one night only, this right. He's one of those guys who can do it. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's less about oh, okay, he hasn't performed for this amount of weeks, but if he performs this week, it's only a problem because he's playing the 49ers. He can literally not play well all the other weeks, and you could be right. But what if this one week is all of a sudden the week that he just like gets in a time machine and he's 3 years ago Julio? That's a little bit what I'm afraid of. That's all.
Yeah,
And
no, but would we be shocked if that happens? Absolutely not. Absolutely,
I would be a little bit. And I love
Okay.
Julio. This hurts me the most. This hurts me the most to say about Julio because Julio is literally my favorite player in the league. He is, and he has been for a long time. And I've been banging the drum. Obviously, you can't say it this year. You probably couldn't say it last year. But I was the guy who, he doesn't score touchdowns. I still believe that he was the best receiver in the league. And that's in there somewhere. He's not cooked. Like, he's not cooked. There's plenty of receivers in this league that are cooked. He's not one of them. But I can hear you on not being afraid of him because of the injuries. I get it. There's something about him that like scares me, and maybe it's just because I'm a fan of his. That's it. So maybe, you know what? Toss everything that I said out. I'm just being a fan at this point.
It's okay. We're all fans. That's why we're here.
That's it.
Last thing I want to say just about the Titans offense, and then we could talk about their defense because that's a whole other beast. Their running attack since Derrick Henry hasn't been as good, which not a surprise.
Avion, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Andrew. In 2019.
Was that 2019? Let's go.
Who scored the game-winning touchdown in that game?
I'm gonna go look at that box score. Let's see how close we are. Game logs. 2019, Julio Jones. SFO. So last time we held him, 13 receptions, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns on 20 targets. That's
holding him?
That's holding him?
Look.
Oh God.
He may not do anything. He may not do anything this week. But in 2019, he cooked the 49ers. That was awful. He cooked them.
2019, boys. Yeah. No, yeah. Okay. Anyways,
wait. Say that stat line. Say that stat line just one more time.
13 receptions, 134, 2 touchdowns.
That's holding him. That's 13, 134.
Shut him down.
And game-winning touchdown.
Maybe that's why.
Eek. Sorry.
I mean, if that's the line Josh Norman holds him
no,
to,
Avion, we're just having some fun. We're just having fun, buddy.
We're messing with you. Don't worry about
it. Honestly, I had no idea.
We're having fun.
I
didn't remember that whatsoever.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know I was going to come up on 13 receptions, 134, 2 touchdowns.
I didn't even know that. Oh my goodness, I didn't even know that. He scored a touchdown too.
Avion, all in good fun. We're not actually coming at you.
All love.
Anyways, the rushing attack obviously not as good without Henry. But what if I told you they're still running the ball the same amount for only 12 yet less yards per game? Because that's what's going on. In the first 8 games of the season, the Titans averaged 32.5 carries a game for 147.6 rush yards. Since Henry's injury, 32.5 carries per game for 135 per game.
Opponents matter.
They do.
A little bit. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been giving it up to everybody in the world. And Deonta Foreman was okay this past week.
Yeah.
So the thing that kind of like also on top of the matchups is one thing I know for sure. Mike Vrabel, no matter what, is going to have this team ready to go.
Yep.
No matter what. And you know how I know that? The New England game. New England probably has the best defense in the league right now, right? And he had no one available for that game. And they played pretty well. Dontrell Hilliard scored a touchdown. Deonta Foreman scored a touchdown. And
against New England, 39 carries, 270 yards.
There you go. Mike Vrabel is a very good coach. So they'll have them very well prepared. These guys are not going to come out and lay an egg. The 49ers are going to win because they are better than them. They are. And they're playing better than they are. And it's not going to be because, yeah, exactly. Okay, so John brought it up. Again, opponents matter. Opponents matter. Opponents absolutely matter. Play the Jags and the Texans, exactly. Opponents matter, right? They have that in their division, and I think that's what's kind of inflating their stats. If Derrick Henry was there, they would have run for 9,000 yards in all of those games. Like, it would be like a disrespectful amount. So what they're doing with replacement level players at this point is just a testament to, one, what they want to do week to week, no matter what. Doesn't matter who's in the building. Like, week to week, they want to run the ball. Mike Vrabel wants to run the ball. Physical team. Always out physical your team. We're going to outwork you. That's part of their game plan. But Mike Vrabel is a very good coach, and that team will be ready to go on Thursday at home, juiced up at home. So that's another thing. But the 49ers are still going to win this game because they're better. That's it. Like, all that juiced up coach shit, that doesn't matter. You're just better than they are. Yeah. And there's nothing you could do about that. Like, they'll play a competitive game, but you're not better than them. So it doesn't matter. You can be as juiced as you want.
Yeah. John, just a counterpoint here. They play the Titans. They play the Jags and Texans twice. They're actually 0-1 against the Texans this year. So take that as you may. 5 turnovers in that game. So the NFL's a week-to-week game, as we like to say here, Jason.
Ooh, that's our staple.
I got one last pointless stat about the offense, and then we can go talk about their defense. Tannehill's also a bit of a threat running the ball. 46 carries, 243 yards. It's 5.3 yards per carry. He has 7 rushing touchdowns on 2021. All 7 of his rushing touchdowns came within 5 yards. His longest running touchdown is 5 yards this season. So he does have wheels, but really where you need to watch him is in the red zone and close to the end zone, because he'll obviously make that work.
Well, yeah, and he usually scores on not designed runs, but RPOs or plays that break down. Like, he has wheels. He's a former wide receiver.
Yes.
The guy has wheels, right? And that's, it helps when Derrick Henry's there. When he's not there, it's fine. I'm not as worried about that because the 49ers have been great against mobile quarterbacks after Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. Limiting Kyler Murray. Russell Wilson, if I remember correctly, didn't exactly light them up with his legs in that game. So I'm not really as worried about that.
All right, Jason, before we go to the defense, because we talked quite a bit about the Titans offense, just want to remind everybody, hey, if you're a new name,
if you're not a new name,
and you've been here a while just lurking, now's as good of a time as any to subscribe to Jason Aponte's YouTube channel. Like this video, dislike it. It still sends it to the algorithm all the same. And Jason's doing a lot of content. I will be on Jason's post-game show tomorrow night after the Niners beat the Tennessee
you're not
Titans.
On my post-game show. Tomorrow
we are on the
sprint right option.
It's the 50-50 show with the
sprint right option.
Okay, it's a sprint right option. So we'll be live. We'll be running it right after the game, and maybe that way for the rest of the season. Who knows, Jason? We haven't talked about it. Great time to bring it up. But if you haven't already subscribed, like this video, all that fun stuff, tell your friends too. The best present you can give a family member on Christmas Eve is a subscription to Jason Aponte's YouTube channel. That defensive line for the Tennessee Titans, how concerned are we? Harold Landry, 11 sacks. Jeffrey Simmons, 7.5 sacks.
That was the question. I'll get to it. Let me pull it up.
That was the question that we had earlier. We'll get it on the screen here.
Got it.
Love your show. What about the Titans D-line? Heard they're very good. That's how good they are. 11, 7.5, and 7 from their 3 top guys. They get after the quarterback, Jason. How are we feeling about Mr. Garoppolo in the backfield compared to the 3 pretty good pass rushers on the Titans?
Bud Dupree, Harold Landry, Autry. They've got some guys. They can get after the quarterback. The 49ers are going to do their best, as they have week after week, with at least running the ball, showing the run, which will limit that. The 49ers will not be in a position, I feel, in this game where they will be in obvious passing situations because they're either behind or because the running game is so inept, right? Like, the Titans have a good run defense. They do. But the 49ers have run on better run defenses than this. And Jeff Wilson is actually feeling 100% more, right? Like, his knee is better. So in that way, I still, you know what? I'm gonna say it. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have a big game on Thursday, man.
Let's do it.
And he's going to have many throws in this game, and he's going to have his opportunities in this game to pick on this secondary. Listen, no disrespect again, because you're all NFL players, and I'm a guy in front of some Batman stuff talking about football. But bust the screen, you do not scare me. Kevin Byard, Kenny Vaccaro is talking really crazy right now. Did you get a chance to take a look at that, Andrew?
I have not, no.
Kenny Vaccaro. Kenny Vaccaro. He tweeted, Kevin Byard is going to be straps on George Kittle.
Okay.
Kenny Vaccaro, I just want to send this message to you because I tweeted it out. This will not go the way that you believe it will go.
No.
And it is foolish for you to even mention or even act in this bravish way. But you'll find out on Thursday. You will find out. The secondary is where you attack them. And this is why Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have a good game this week. And he is going to have many more good throws as he did against Atlanta. He is going to have a good game this week tomorrow on Thursday. Tomorrow, he will have a good game. But Kevin Byard, Kenny Vaccaro has cashed a check that you didn't even sign, and now you have to deal with this. You really have to deal with this. So when Kittle bodies you on Thursday Night Football in front of the whole world, yell at him, because it didn't have to be this way. It didn't have to be this way. You put that man in a bad spot. George Kittle's playing out of his mind right now. And that's the guy you want to talk crazy about? Wild. Absolutely wild.
Sunshine good, since you're asking so much about how many of the Titans sacks were against Davis Mills and Trevor Lawrence. First of all, Davis Mills didn't even play against the Titans when they played each other. The Titans actually sacked Tyrod Taylor 0 times, and only 5 of those sacks came against Trevor Lawrence. They have 35 sacks on the season. So they get after more people than just the Texans in that one game and the and the Jaguars in the 2. They have pretty much the same amount of sacks as the Niners. They're just a little more balanced out than what the Niners are. So take that as you may for those of you who watch the Niners, that expect something like what the Niners have. But the thing is with the Niners is they have such a good, I mean, they have Trent Williams. I forgot. I just kind of call him Trevor Williams. They have Trent Williams, who, he's very good. We've said this on the podcast quite a bit. It's this new thing a lot of people are picking up on, that Trent Williams is good. So whoever's lined up on him, I think we could say he's more or less out of the play, right? So now you only have to worry about 2 of them. One of them's coming from the middle. You got Alex Mack and Daniel Brunskill. I guess my point of what I'm getting to, Jason, is I feel pretty good with the Niners offensive line against this pass rush of the Titans.
Yeah, and it's just, again, situations are what is going to dictate this, right? And how the matchups go. Mm-hmm. And the 49ers, maybe they won't be able to run just as well as they have against the Atlanta Falcons. And yeah, hey, Sunshine good.
Yeah.
No question. Andrew's just answering the question. We're not,
we all good.
We're good. We're all good here.
I'm sorry if that came off spicy. I didn't mean
and I don't, and trust me, not trying to be like that, honestly.
Yeah,
just
trying
to be better.
Apologize.
Just trying to be better. That's it. So, in terms of that, I just, again, when I look at the way that this game can go, right? Game flow, right? Maybe there's points where the 49ers are forced into straight up passing situations, but that would mean that the 49ers are either doing 2 things. 1, getting blown out, which won't happen, or having to throw the ball. That's not going to happen. Or 2, the running game is absolutely ineffective, and I don't think that'll happen either, just because I trust what Kyle Shanahan has to do. I trust how good Jeff Wilson has been. I trust Deebo Samuel will bust off 1 or 2 big runs while he's there, because we know Elijah Mitchell, unfortunately, is going to miss this game. So, again, when you talk about matchups and you understand that, yes, this team likes to get after the quarterback, will they have situations or chances to do that if the 49ers are executing their offense properly? And I just don't think they will, because I think the 49ers are just playing too good right now, or too well. Too good. Sorry. Too well. If my mom heard me, she would have said, no, too well. Too well right now for that to be the case. That's it.
Yeah. And I mean, take it as you may. It was against the Atlanta Falcons. I get it. They're not the best opponent. But if the Niners play like they did on Sunday against the Titans, they're winning. They're winning. That's just what it is. Is it going to be a little tougher? Yeah. On the road, yeah. I think the Niners catch a little bit of a break because I don't think I checked it earlier. So unless something's drastically changed, I don't think the weather is going to be too much tomorrow night. I think I saw like
the weather's going to be better in Tennessee than it is going to be in the Bay Area.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're supposed
thank you, global warming.
Thank you, global warming, for that. We're supposed to get some rain out here tomorrow in, I almost said Atlanta, Tennessee. 59-degree high, 45-degree low. So like you're going to Tennessee, you don't have to worry about the weather, which is something you could worry about at this time of year. Niners don't. It's a short week.
But you should be worried about it December 22nd on the East Coast. Again, don't want to get anybody scared, but last year, December 22nd, we had a foot of snow. It has not snowed one bit this entire time.
Hooray, Right Option Podcast.
Hooray, global warming.
Climate change podcast now, guys. The weather is weird, and it's probably our fault. Anyways, so yeah, the Niners catch a bit of a break there. I guess the one thing concerning me on the run game, and obviously things are deeper than just numbers, Jason. The Titans have the second best yards allowed. I don't know how I'm saying it. The second fewest yards allowed on the ground, 12-17. The only team to allow fewer is the Ravens at 12-07. But to me, as you said, we talk about Jeff Wilson. He's coming back, or he's playing better. Deebo Samuel, they got ways to move the ball on the ground. So is it something they're going to have to necessarily worry about? I don't think so, because I think Kyle Shannon's just been so good at designing plays. Hey, Jay Guayo, it's been a while since I've seen your name, I believe. Thank you for the donations. Niners have to play every game with playoff mentality. It'll be a slobber knocker. Good old JR, but Niners 24-20. So I think tomorrow's going to be a Garoppolo game as well. I guess that's my long way of saying it. Maybe the run game won't work, but I do think the Niners offensive line is going to give Garoppolo time if he's going to need it. And the Niners
game tomorrow.
The Niners receivers have been playing well lately. Yeah. Ayuk, I know he only had the one reception for 36, but he's looked good of recent. Deebo Samuel still exists. Jawan Jennings, I'm going to keep saying his name until he has his big game, because that's going to come at some point. And then obviously you got that George Kittle dude just in the middle of the field, hanging out, hitting hard, taking names later, all that fun stuff. So yeah, Jason, I guess to just pretty much agree with you, man, the matchups don't lie in this game. And there's only a couple that I don't feel great about. The biggest being Brown and Julio Jones against Josh Norman and Ambry Thomas. But I think what negates it is how big of an advantage the Niners have in the trenches. The Niners defensive line is that much better against than the Titans offensive line. And if you want to talk about the Titans pass rush, I think the Niners offensive line is significantly better than what the Titans have been given. And so I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue for the Niners to deal with. And I think the Niners are going to be able to get after Tannehill.
Yeah, absolutely. And to answer your question, Spider Niner, any more word on Sermon? Sermon's 21-day window has been open, but he is not officially activated to the active roster. So the 49ers have until 4 o'clock Eastern time, I believe tomorrow, to make that decision. Same as the Titans with A.J. Brown, who looks like he's on track to play. So we'll find out. Trey Sermon could be a very valuable piece down the stretch with his fresh legs and, let's just see what happens right now. Elijah Mitchell, it sounded like he was closer to playing this week than he has ever been in any of previous weeks. So a tandem of Elijah, Trey, and Jeff Wilson, it lends itself to good things for the 49ers, and when you think about their opponents going forward, Tennessee, Houston, the Rams, getting confidence and getting that running game going, man, it would be really big. So we'll find out really soon. So let's take this donation too from Know Your Personnel. Everybody should know their personnel. I think that's it should
Urban Meyer did.
Yeah. Oh, good job. Good job. I like it. I any Urban Meyer slander, I'm here for it because I know you just like him so much, Andrew. It's so good.
Love Urban Meyer.
Special teams, get it together. Yeah, the 49ers are hitting their stride in two phases of the game, offense and defense. Be really nice if that next one just come right along. That's it. Three
tiers to a game of football, and the Niners are doing pretty well in 2 of the 3. You get all 3, you never know.
Well, all right, so let's even get more positive. They're doing better in 3 of the 4. Coaching, offense, defense.
Yes, there you go.
So we're going to keep it positive.
4 of the 5, defensive coordinator doing well too.
We're going to keep it positive. That's it. That's all. So, but yeah, if special teams could, hey, just pick it up a little. On all sides. I'm not just going to pick on the kickers. Like, I'm talking about coverage.
Yes.
Kickoff returns, tackle people. Punt returns, tackle people. Punt returners, get yards. Things like that. So, again, it's not all about, everybody's just going to run.
Just kick them through the end zone. Don't let them return them.
No. What if they're not capable? And that's not their fault. Blame the people that believe that they would be capable.
I don't know how we do this. I don't know how
we got into this. All right, I'm sorry.
Anyways, Jason, do you want to get some final score predictions and then get out of here?
We could. I mean, I'm having fun. Are you trying to get up out of here, or
are we gonna go post show again?
We're vibing. No, all right. So
is that what we're hinting towards?
Real quick. It's 40 minutes in. We've got some new people in here, which is great, and we appreciate that. Just make sure while you're here, old or new, like this video, please. That would help us out a ton, and we hope you guys enjoy the content. But realistically, we can hang out for a little bit, maybe take some questions. And then after this, for the people that are subscribed to the Jason Aponte Patreon, we've got some new stuff that's going to be happening for those people where we're going to be looking at some film, taking some of your questions, and we're just going to hang out more than anything. So there's me plugging the Jason Aponte Patreon also while letting people know, hey, we're here to talk. Let's hang out for a little bit.
I need Jason to plug everything, really. That's just, I'm here for him just plugging his state of the 49ers, which isn't about what state they play in. I just answered California, but I was wrong.
I love it.
He's got a lot of things going. So follow him. Boom, Avion with the biggest news. Debo is a superstar on Madden now. Did they finally give him one of those X Factor perk things? That's the biggest news of the day. EA
About
Sports.
Time.
If it's in the game, it's in the game. 27-17, 49ers win.
31-17, 49ers. I mean, they've been scoring 30 points pretty much every game. No, I'm sorry. Oh, you're going to keep going?
No, I was just saying I said 27-17. You only really gave me 4 points to play with before you get it, so it's kind of it's like the Price is Right and you bid $1. It's just oh, well, I got kind of a tight margin now.
I mean, right now the 49ers have scored 3+ touchdowns in multiple games consecutively.
Yes.
Why would I go away from that right now? Seriously. And that's it. So, David, real quick, Julio's probably playing tomorrow.
Julio's probably playing.
He practiced in full today. I couldn't believe it. When I read it, I was like, "Oh, this is a misprint. This is a tweet that needs to be deleted." It's not. So, but yeah, I've got the 49ers scoring 30 points, doing what they have been doing for 4 or 5 games now.
Mm-hmm.
Just is what it is. This offense is rolling, and the only team that can stop the 49ers is the 49ers right now.
I like John's prediction. Defense time to shine, 17-7. Okay.
Hey, a win's a win. A win's a win.
Where's Jesse?
He's not here, unfortunately.
Where's Jesse?
Oh my goodness. Slacking.
We need our stats. Jason, okay, if you're cool, if we're gonna hang out, answer some questions. I got a bit of time. I'm gonna cut the audio here.
Yeah.
Just cut it off here. So Jason Aponte, as always.
Let's go Niners. And you know what? I'm gonna hit the theme song, and then we're just gonna hop right back in.
There we go. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners. Welcome everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners. Sprint Ride Option Podcast. All right, it's time for the real conversation. Sunday morning, 4:30 a.m. West Coast time. The Wolverhampton Wanderers, they play Watford. Feeling
Kick his ass out, man.
No, so hello. We are here to take questions, all that fun stuff. There's Paul picking us up when the Niners score more than their opponents. They're 8-0 on the season. Great. That's our stat. That's the one we love. 8-0 when they score more points. Really the key to every game for the 49ers this year. I'm genuinely curious, Jason, to see what everybody's record is when they score more points than their opponent. Like, what do you think the Packers are running? So for those of you who haven't been to the post-show portion of this is where we just kind of have a conversation with everybody. We started this last week. I guess we're doing it every so often now, which I'm all for because I love talking to everybody. I love hearing all the different opinions. And it's fun things. I got until my girlfriend shows up, so
must be nice.
Free. We got time. Oh man, actually, we'll start with some Andrew news. My background's going to change in like a month because got a new place. So that's pretty litty. It's pretty litty. That's exactly where we wanted to start with that conversation.
Must be nice, Andrew.
Must be. Well, I won't have the fireplace in the background anymore. I like seeing these score predictions come through. Not a lot of Titans picks. That's okay. 27-13, 27-24, 31-20. I mean, kind of the same idea, close, but not.
Josh knows the vibes. 30 points or 17. Plus. 30 or plus.
I've wanted to brag about how close I was to a lot of these, but I remember in week 1 when they had the final score. Oh, there we go. Like Fred Warner said Trey's been dicing him up. Thoughts?
I like this. You go first. I like this though.
Thoughts? That's pretty cool. It's fantastic. It's good to hear. It's good to hear a Trey Lance update. Does it mean anything for 2021? No. Does it mean anything for 2022? I don't know. But it's good. It's good to see. I mean, John Lynch even said today, Jason, that they don't regret making the trade, which I mean, take that as you may. I feel like Jason, I guess my point being there is if John Lynch said they regret making the trade, that's what we're opening the show with. But yeah, it's good to hear. It's cool to hear, but it just means nothing to me at this point.
Two things that
I'm numb to it.
Two things you need to keep in mind. Who reported this first? And that was Matt Mayoko, who said that the finger injury was a little bit more than people believed. That's what led to inaccuracies that you saw. Okay. But another thing is in practice, Nick Bosa can't hit you. The pass rush isn't going to touch you. So take it with a grain of salt. But also, that's good to hear. It very much is. But you also need to remember that portion of it. It's not like full contact. He's like dodging Nick Bosa and like hitting somebody over Jimmy Ward. It's practice. Okay. But that's good. That's good. And that's what you want to hear. And it sounds like a lot of people are excited for his prospects. So Isaac wants to know, does Trey get any plays would make future opponents study more? Isaac, unfortunately, I agree with the sentiment 100%. Keep defensive coordinators on their toes. But no. It's just right now, the way Kyle explains it in terms of his play calling is in a rhythm when Jimmy is doing things correctly and doing things the way that he is. I believe him. And it's just where we are right now, unfortunately, Isaac. So yeah.
If we're asking about Thursday, this is where I'm going to take what I said last week and move it to here. If the Niners are blowing out the Titans and they need somebody to kneel the clock out, there's your Trey Lance plays right there. Until then, like it's just is what it is. Harold, Kyle is saving Trey for the playoffs. What do you think? No, probably not.
It's got to be gotta have it. It's got to be like the most dire situation.
Yeah, like we're talking like I don't want to say that. I'm not going to say that, but more of Jimmy misses a play for whatever reason. His shoe falls off, right? Like something dumb. I don't want to say the other one I want to say, but You're not going to go out there and run a play that the Niners haven't used all season. They're not just going to magically use Trey Lance and all. But honestly, Harold, I want to say something I appreciate about this question. We're talking playoffs. You know how cool that is? Playoffs. Jason, did you retweet my tweet? Oh, I appreciate you.
I did.
Appreciate you big time. Let's get as many people in here as we can. Let's see here. Boom. Why only 28 people smashed the like? I say 53.
Oh.
So
James is right. 28. That's it. That's not enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna give James credit. People saw this and said, "Oh, I haven't liked it yet." And so, James, thank you. We appreciate it. Avion at Jason. Since Titans have a good run defense, how many attempts and yards do you see Jimmy going for? No pixies. Throw attempts. I thought we were talking run attempts, and I'm like, oh man. Throw attempts, no picks. He's been on fire. Jason, go.
I feel like it'll be 31, and his yards will be 275, and he'll throw 3 touchdowns in this game. Let's get crazy. Like let's now let's get crazy. But Jimmy Garoppolo has been playing great, and if I can go on a fun tangent real quick here, Andrew.
Always.
49ers Twitter has become insufferable when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo, and here's why.
Oh.
It is so hard to even say anything barely nice about a guy who is playing very well right now. And I think that that's ridiculous at this point. Look, I wanted Trey Lance to start earlier. I wanted Justin Fields to be the pick at 3. Guess what? I'm not in charge of the 49ers. And when things present themselves in the way that they have, and Jimmy Garoppolo is winning games, this team is winning games, who can argue with the results? It's okay to say that Jimmy Garoppolo has been playing well, very well, as of late. Very well.
Yes.
I don't understand why we can't do that. And I don't understand why people have dug their heels into whatever stance that they want to be in and have allowed themselves to get to a place where they are not objective. Objectively speaking, Jimmy Garoppolo has been playing very well. Not subjectively, which means opinion, objectively well. He's been playing well.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to say. No, you could. I don't know what else to say after that.
Yeah, I mean, let's just go back to the Chicago game, right? The Niners are 2-4. I believe that's when, the Chicago game is. And they're 6-2 since then. And what has Jimmy Garoppolo done in these 8 games? 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, completion percentage of 69%. Nice. He has 2 fumbles. Sure, that sucks, but he hasn't lost either of them. So in the last 8 games, Jimmy Garoppolo has made 4 turnovers. 2 of those interceptions came against Seattle, which bummer. That sucks. They probably win that game if one of those, interceptions aren't an interception, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. That's the only game I could really remember myself saying, wow, Jimmy's been bad. He's been very solid 7 of the last 8 games. And the Cincinnati game, it might look a little different if we look at his game a little different if he doesn't go into overtime, right? Because overtime kind of saved him for that. But if we're at a point, and I know people are itching to see, I appreciate the people asking, because I think there's a right way to ask for Trey Lance and a wrong way to ask for Trey Lance. I think the right way is, how many snaps are we going to see from him this week? Because those are the people who want to see him. They're very excited to see Trey Lance. I think a lot of people are. I am. But realize that, hey, this is Jimmy Garoppolo's team, man. He's not going to get a random uptick in snaps. And then there's the people who are looking for every bad throw Garoppolo makes. There hasn't been too many of late. So it's hard. It's hard on those people, because they came into the season with a new quarterback expecting Jimmy Garoppolo was going to what was the term, a lame duck quarterback, and I think he's gone to show that he's been more than that this year, and he's been good the last 8 weeks, and there's no other way to look at it.
Yeah. And David has a question here. Do you trust Lynch, in parentheses, an avid Jimmy G supporter, to construct a proper roster for Trey's development success in 2022? David, that's a multi-layered answer, because there are picks that you can look at immediately and say, that's a Kyle Shanahan pick.
Mm-hmm.
There's picks that you can immediately say, that's a John Lynch pick. So do we really know who is actually constructing the roster, or is this just a collective move, right? So I think that I can't give you an answer to this because I don't know who is holding the most amount of power in that way. But this roster is built to be good for Jimmy Garoppolo. He's so handsome. He's like in my mind right now.
Yeah, he's
Trey
just
Lance.
in my mind.
And Trey Lance is fashion, right? It's
Yes.
The offensive line has to find new ways to block, right? It's different when you block for a pocket quarterback. When you're blocking for someone who can move, it's different, right? Like you have to learn all those things. Next year, this whole team is going to be one way or another, whether they want to be or not. I believe it's going to be Trey Lance. And I believe you asked the question, did he play well enough for him to be back next year? The only way Jimmy Garoppolo is back here next year is if he throws for 400 yards in every game and wins the Super Bowl for the 49ers, like wins it. I'm not talking about is the starting quarterback for the 49ers. I'm talking about if they are in a shootout in the Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes, he throws for 420 yards. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I would put that at a no, probably not fashion. But in the same way, I believe they will. And I believe this roster is constructed right now the way that it is. We'll find out next year with 31 free agents, 32 free agents, what it looks like, because it will look much different. But I do trust that this organization, this regime will put it in a good spot for them.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people like to talk about John Lynch and then the draft abilities of this current regime of the San Francisco 49ers. It hasn't been great near the top. But they found some very good players in the not top area. I guess that would be the lower area. So yeah, I have trust in Lynch. I don't think him being an avid Jimmy guy really has anything to do with what's going to happen with Trey Lance, because I'm sure the second Jimmy's gone, John Lynch is going to be an avid Trey Lance guy. I just think that's what that's going to be. So yeah, I have trust in it. But yeah, this is going to be a very important offseason for the 49ers. With how many free agents you said, 31, whatever number it is. There's a lot of free agents, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and Jay Aguayo has a question. How surprised are you guys with the job D'Amico Ryans is doing? Whether you like or don't, Jimmy, he is a tough SOB and his teammates are 100% behind him. Let me start with the back end of that question first. Yes, absolutely, 100%. Tough SOB, and it's hard to not like Jimmy Garoppolo. And for what I'm talking about is anybody who has watched him, watch what the social media team for the 49ers has just posted about him being mic'd up. It's a 6-minute video of Jimmy Garoppolo mic'd up this past week. My goodness, man, it's hard to not like that guy. And this team loves him, and they do. And who cares what we think? And there's a reason many of these people on this team have been outspoken on Jimmy Garoppolo's behalf.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that video shows you a little bit of it. I mean, he's a likable guy, man. He really is. Look, we joke about the handsome thing. Obviously, he is devastatingly handsome.
He's beautiful.
He's such a beautiful man. But don't discount all of those other things. And remember, many players on this team, their only hint of actual success is with Jimmy Garoppolo. Mm-hmm. Take all that into account. So, but let's get back to this first question. How surprised are you guys with the job D'Amico Ryans is doing? Mildly. But he deserves all of the praise. All of it. There's a lot. We talked about it. We talked about it after the Falcons game, Andrew. He deserves a lot of praise. First year defensive coordinator, the same way that you go through the bumps and bruises with rookies while they're playing, you should feel that way about rookie coaches. And for all that he's gone through, I think right now, like I said, The offense is hitting its stride at the right time. So is the defense. So is the coaching. I think DeMeco Ryans has done an incredible job adapting his game plan to opponents. And that's something that Robert Saleh did not show in his first year. So,
yeah, I mean, it was a tough position for DeMeco Ryans to take over, right? You have a guy that a lot of Niner fans grew to love, because remember, we weren't big Robert Saleh. I mean, not we, Jason and Andrew, because the podcast wasn't there when Robert Saleh started his career with the Niners. But it wasn't a great start. He works his way up, leads a Super Bowl defense, very good defense, and we loved his energy and all that stuff. And to jump in and kind of, I mean, have you noticed the drop off in the defense this year, Jason? If anything, I think we've noticed step ups.
So everybody wanted to attribute everything to 2019, right? And they wanted to say, well, 2019 vibes. Okay, you're not duplicating that because you don't have the personnel to duplicate that. It's just impossible. It's impossible. Mm-hmm. DeForest Buckner's not on this team anymore. D Ford doesn't play. Okay, that's why you can't duplicate those things. 2020, this was still a top 10 defense. In 2021, with all of these injuries and all this uncertainty, to be a first-year defensive coordinator to have a top 10 defense, yes, it's a step up from last year. Yes. Mm-hmm. You can point to the Arizona game and say, hey, that's where, it doesn't look good. DeMeco Ryans got took into the shed by Cliff Kingsbury, who attacked properly. He did. He attacked properly. He knew how to do it. And unfortunately, personnel and game planning, it didn't work that 1 week. It just didn't. Mm-hmm. But when you look at what he's been able to do with his 5th and 6th cornerback against the Cincinnati Bengals, who have 2 great receivers, and adapting his game plan week to week, like DeMeco Ryans isn't the reason that they lost to Seattle.
No.
There was a punt return, a fake punt that was scored a touchdown. You fumble a punt. They're on the other side of the field. It's hard to ask the defense to do what they did this past week. DeMeco Ryans has been great, and this is a step up from last year. Look at what they got from Kerry Hyder last year.
Yep.
Right? Kerry Hyder's not here. How's Kerry Hyder doing in Seattle, Andrew?
I think he's half a sack still.
Eek.
Let's see. Let's find out what a Frank
Chris Kosuric, DeMeco Ryans. They need your praise. And they are doing everything that they can to put this defense in position to win.
Half a sack.
That's it. I mean, it's what else can you say? That's it. Harold, appreciate the donation. Merry Christmas, guys. Yo, the beat is sick. How can I get a copy? I like to make it my ringtone. Great show as always. Let's go Niners. So, Harold, that was actually that video is made by B. Amici, who is one half of the 49X365 podcast guys, which they are on the Frontline Media network with Eric Crocker. And I implore everyone over there right now to make sure you watch them, watch Jamal Armstrong's stuff, obviously watch Croc's stuff. You understand, right? But they made that, and I believe he pulled that from something where YouTube has really stringent restrictions when it comes to what it is that you can use for a
DMCA.
Right. And I think that's just from their pool. So he did a great job of encapsulating the energy that Andrew and I have and using it in a way that worked. So the credit goes to him. So, I mean, the best thing I could tell you is I wouldn't be able to send it to you because it is part of like this YouTube library where you can like make your intros out of. But there is a way for you to like screenshot or either download, the video or something like that, and then you can use it that way. But Harold, appreciate that, and I'm glad that you like the intro, man, because it is pretty dope.
I love it. That song gets stuck in my head pretty frequently, to be honest. Not gonna lie, especially when it's coming up and like I know it's coming. Like if you see me coming into the show and the intro with my head bopping like that, because I'm still like bopping to it.
It's a bop.
It's a bop,
as the kids say. It's a bop.
As the kids would say, it's a bop. Mike, defense has gone way above their ability. Ryan should be the head coach. Let's not go that far. So it's
well, all right.
pull the brakes just a little bit, Mike.
So here's what I'll say about this: is 49er fans enjoy DeMeco Ryans while you have him.
Yes,
because sooner or later
we could have another Robert Saleh on our hands.
One more year of DeMeco. If DeMeco continues to improve and perform in this fashion, he'll have one more year as the defensive coordinator as the San Francisco 49ers, and he will be a head coach somewhere else.
Yeah. And then that's what you want as a head coach, I'd guess, right? Is to lose your guys because they're doing so well. Which speaking of which, Robert Saleh tested positive for COVID today, so hopefully
I hope he's good,
feeling better. Because that's a whole thing going on in the NFL right now. So, well, not just the NFL, sports and the United States, but that's not why we're here today. Do we have any other questions?
Well, let's hang out for maybe 5-10 more minutes. For the people that are Patreon subscribers, I got some fun for you guys in a little while. We're gonna, take some of your questions, up front. We'll have a little bit of an unfiltered discussion, and we'll watch some film and we'll talk about some of the things that I know. I don't know everything. I know some things, and we'll talk about that. So, excited for that. And if you're new here, still like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Yes. And if you want to join in on the discussion later on, the Patreon community, patreon.com/Jason Aponte is where you can actually find it, and you can pick a tier that you want to subscribe to. But this has been a blast, and it's been a lot of fun. Andrew, this is a lot of fun to cover a team right now that is on the way to a playoff berth. And Paul, let's get nerdy. Jason, have you been watching Hawkeye? What have you thought? Paul, I'm one of those people that doesn't share spoilers, right? That's just not my thing. I haven't watched Hawkeye. I've just been reading about the spoilers. I know exactly what's going on.
He knows exactly.
I know exactly what's going on because I always do want to know what's going on. And for anybody who didn't get a chance to see it in the theaters, obviously Spider-Man, I'm not going to give any of that away. But one of the post-credit scenes is now on for everybody to see. It is the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer, which was electric. In the
I still need to see Doctor Strange.
But I haven't seen now this new one, it implores you to make sure that you've watched What If on Disney Plus. You need to watch What If to know what's going on right now, and Spider-Man to know what's going on in Doctor Strange. And you need to watch WandaVision also. So all of it.
Just watch Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Like that.
Fozzie, yeah, they need to cut the check. We're not telling them to watch that, but Fozzie, thank you for the donation. 49ers making a deep playoff run, worst case scenario for Trey Lance, and do you expect Tart to have a big game tomorrow? I expect Tart to always have a big game, and he's going to get all the snaps tomorrow. Always. And tomorrow, he's gonna play all of the snaps, because unfortunately, Talanoa Hufanga is injured, unfortunately. And making a deep playoff run, worst case scenario for Trey Lance, it doesn't matter, realistically. No. It is what it is at this point. If Jimmy Garoppolo wins the Super Bowl, then you get a first-round pick for him. It's win-win for everybody.
Yeah. It's a good question. Making a deep playoff run, worst case scenario for Lance. No, I don't think so. Because I mean, I haven't even thought about that. That's how so week to week my brain is, if we're talking week to week. But no, because I think it's Jason makes a point. If the Niners win a Super Bowl, I think you're either A, feeling comfortable with Garoppolo, or B, you're able to get something decent for him, right? Sure. Then I guess in theory, if a deep playoff run, if Garoppolo stays, obviously it's bad, but I think after the amount the Niners gave up for Trey Lance, I think he should be the starter in 2022. So I don't know if it'll really bother. And then for Tart to have a big game, I always expect Tart to have a big game. He's pretty good. What was his tweet? I don't get turnovers, so I'm not a playmaker. The plays he makes, man, they're the ones where the Julio Jones catch, it's not a 50-yard reception. It's a 10-yard reception, and Tart's there to make the play. So I think he'll have a big game.
Yeah. I always think Tart's going to have a big game. But big game to you.
I was so thrown off by that Trey question. I haven't even thought about that, to be honest. That's why I kind of stumbled a little bit there.
Yeah, but big game to certain people is not a big game to me.
Yes.
And Tart always has big games because he just does everything solidly. So let's get ready to close this out.
Okay.
I keep saying it, but I feel like I need to say it again. First of all, thank you to everybody who continuously shows up in the chats. Thank you to everybody who consumes the content, likes it, trying to be better every single day. I'm listening to all your comments and I'm trying to respond without being a dick or anything like that in any way. And listening with open ears and knowing, what I should be doing and should be better at. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays to everyone.
Whatever
and
you celebrate.
Please enjoy your time with your family because there's plenty of people who can't, for different reasons, be with their family. And right now, a lot of family time is what's needed. And I just hope your holidays are great. On top of that, with a 49ers win, realistically, what it should be. Lewis, thank you so much for the donation. That is very generous of you. I appreciate you. Happy holiday, guys. Great news. Our RJ9 fans here.
What's RJ9? What's an RJ9?
Yeah.
Luis, can you tell us what RJ9 is? I would like to know.
Real quick before we go. Yeah, what is RJ9?
I would like to know RJ9.
Sure. Yeah. But realistically, just enjoy the time with your family, man. It's not about gifts. It's about being close with your family and having that time with them. So just happy holidays to everyone.
Definitely. I hope everybody has a good weekend. As I said, the best gift you can give is a subscription to Jason Aponte's YouTube channel. So definitely do that. I just want to see your face when I say that.
Ridiculous.
No. I mean, it's pretty much the same for me, man. That this is fun. This is the fun time of year, especially with the Niners being in the playoffs and likely making the playoffs. They're not in the playoffs yet.
In the playoffs, Andrew. Let's get crazy.
They'll get there. I whispered it after the Bears episode.
Raul Jimenez. Raul Jimenez is.
Raul Jimenez. I've never heard him say. I've never heard RJ9 like that. I love Raul Jimenez. Yes, he's Wolves striker. I believe there's a he fractured his skull, which doesn't sound fun. There's a documentary out there. I do like Raul Jimenez. I've never thought of calling him RJ9. I appreciate now my soccer brain is evolving. So thank you, Luis Castillo, for telling me that, because anything to expand my soccer mind is A+, and Jason is shaking his head no.
No, look, it's happy holidays. I'm happy, man. I'm just no matter what, I don't care. And this is overtime, so it's what it is.
Yes.
And if Paul, it makes you happy, Andrew, I'm happy.
Paul, yes, I am staying in Sacramento. I saw that question way earlier. I forgot to answer it. But yeah, man, I mean, I've said it before, say it again. None of this is possible without you guys. You guys are why Jason and I continue to do this every week, and then we plan what's best for everybody else, which is why we're going to do a post show tomorrow night. Like, a big reason we're doing that is our normal show would be Christmas Eve. It would be Friday at 5:30 when people are trying to be with their family, prepping for Santa Claus, all that fun stuff, things going on. So a large part why we're going post show tomorrow is to allow everybody to have a good weekend and not have to worry about missing our content, which obviously in the grand scheme of things, not huge, but there are some people that we see in here every day. And obviously if you're somebody in here every day, you in a way plan your day around us when we're here. And so that's something that means the world to me. And I know it means the world to Jason. So yeah, us being here Thursday night after a game. And I mean, you look at Jason Aponte, he's not hopping on this live until 11:30 PM his time. So just know how much he's like, I guess my big thing is the big thing I want to come out of this podcast is the rise of Jason Aponte, because he is the hardest working human being on this planet and the hardest working human being I know. So please continue to subscribe to his stuff, because it's well worth what he's putting out there, because he's a genius, and not just in football, but fantasy football, life. Some of the text conversations him and I have, very, very fun. So I guess happy holidays to everybody, and support Jason Aponte is my two takeaways from today.
Andrew, I love you. I'm gonna go cry, and I'm gonna get right back to make sure that the content is good for our Patreon subscribers. But I appreciate that. And if anybody is interested in joining our call tonight, patreon.com/Jason Aponte. Andrew, none of this is possible without you, and I am grateful and I'm happy that we have met. But let's get out of here. And
can you take Paul's question real quick? I'll just take Paul's question real quick. How much we need to donate to the channel to get Jason to watch a live soccer game with Andrew?
How much do we need to get to donate? Not much. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, if you're up at 6, if you're up at 6 a.m. your time, that means that's 9 a.m. my time. That means I've been up for 2 whole hours. It's not hard.
Let's see here.
No. We'll do this offline. And Paul, we'll get it going and everything as well too. But let me get out of here. I gotta eat.
We'll pick a Wolves game. Yeah, beautiful.
Right. I gotta eat food and I gotta get ready for this extra call. But thank you for everybody that's here. Thank you to everybody who consumes the content as always. Andrew, do you want to say the line?
Let's go Niners. Wow, I said it. I was afraid I was gonna trip up. Let's go Niners.
Welcome everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners.